Well, we've talked already about how we decided to wear camouflage because we knew not only did it have lots of symbolic resonance that we thought was fun, but it also was cheap and easy to get. And we did want to have our audience have a sense of unity and have a look of unity, that if they could all be wearing various types of camouflage, it would freak the citizens out, as the Hells Angels used to say. You know, to see all these people in this sort of paramilitary get-up congregating to listen to this strange sonic assault. What the hell's going on? Yes, we did want to generate paranoia in the general public, and it worked very well. And that was why we thought about how to, within having people wearing that kind of clothing, what could we do that would give it even more edge? And that's why the first things we started to produce as merchandise were embroidered patches rather than t-shirts, so that they could actually put these military looking patches on their camo, and suddenly we had an army. But it was a very non-specific army, and that always generates paranoia. And of course it was also at the time when the National Front were having a little bit of a resurgence, and Rock Against Racism and all these different extreme ideologues were all fighting and squabbling in the media, and we thought, how nice to create an entire group that doesn't squabble about anything but looks like it's thinking something. So that was part of the mischief making, and of course mischief is very appealing to young people. You know, most people, when they reach their adolescence and then their later teenage years, they do want to reject the status quo. They do want to upset mummy and daddy in every possible sense, both social, political, and at home. You know, they want to generate their own personal culture, and we played into that very deliberately. We also had been, when we were doing art, we'd done a lot of what was called mail art or correspondence art, where artists would exchange collages and letters through the post, and then those would be exhibited in galleries. So we took our network. We had this big mailing list already of people who were active on some basic level creatively, with very little resources, just buying postage stamps. They could be part of this network. And so with TG, we took that as our base, and we would send out information and flyers, manifestos and stickers to all these people, and they would then send them to people they knew. And so in a very underground way, suddenly all over Great Britain there were TG stickers everywhere, but no one knew how it happened because it was done by this network. And if we sent everybody that we knew, say, 50 stickers, and then they gave 5 different people 10 stickers and so on, stickers were everywhere. And the stickers were just a phrase like, nothing short of a total war. What's that? So people would be on the subway or on the bus to work trying to make sense of this strange enigmatic phrase, and then it might just say industrial music for industrial people, or it might just be the TG flash. So we used that technique a lot of involving the audience in the publicity. We would tell people that if they knew we were coming to their town to do a concert, that it would be great if they made Xeroxed flyers themselves and put them around and did their own designs rather than just accept our designs. And with the label itself, Industrial Records, with the logo, one of the things that's personally really fascinated me and still does is how you can take a word or an object or an image or a photograph and show it to somebody, and it's completely innocuous. But then you tell them what it is, its story. This object is actually the knife and fork that Hitler used for his last meal. They see the knife and fork very differently than they did before. Or they see the logo on Industrial Records and it looks like a factory, and they go, well, yeah, Industrial Records, it's a factory. And you go, no, that's actually the ovens at Auschwitz. Oh, that's disgusting. How could you do that? Well, you weren't disgusted before we told you what it was. It's just a building. So how come the building changed? What happened just then? The building is now not a building. The building is now an emotional package. But why? What's changing here? And what is this line between what's acceptable and what's not? It's based on what information you're given, which means that everything that you have an opinion about is based upon the information that you've been given. So why do you trust it if it can change so quickly? So that was why we chose that particular logo.